Great. Meeting will come to order, please. The notice requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act for this meeting have been satisfied. A copy of the annual meeting notice was sent to the press and now Beach Current, posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, on the municipal website, and filed in the office of the municipal clerk. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mayor Becker.
Here.
Commissioner Amadeo.
Here.
Commissioner Blumberg.
Here.
We have before us our minutes of our last meetings. Are there any additions or corrections?
I'll make a motion we approve the minutes.
Second.
Mayor Becker.
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo.
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg.
Yes.
We will now open for public comment. You may just have 3 minutes to talk about any subject you'd like.
Sewell, 22 West Drive. Mayor, under the direction of Judge Todd Miller, he has requested that I file a formal complaint with an ethics board, and despite 8 emails to the solicitor, I was not able to get a response from the solicitor concerning my request for the status of our ethics board, which has not been in active status since the year 2007. Now, I spoke with a very well-versed lady, Dana Jones, up in Trenton, and she said all she requires is a statement that you don't have current members and that you decline or refuse to handle the complaint. I need a letter to that effect. Mayor, can you have our highly esteemed solicitor bill the city for this, the taxpayers, as little as possible, a one-liner? He can send it by email and save the postage. I need a statement, Mayor.
May I respond?
You may respond.
Wait, is the 3 minutes up?
Okay.
I know it's a 6-minute increment you're going to bill.
You know, I would love to respond, but it's inappropriate for me to do so. Mr. Sewell has filed a lawsuit, I believe, against the Board of Ed. Really, it's a discovery process. You have other lawyers involved. How do I interject myself into
You
litigation? that
merely have to
have?
state the status of the ethics board in Margate. Either it is or isn't, and whether or not the city would decline to pursue the complaint, because the state is willing to handle the complaint if they get a statement from the city. I know you're going to have independent counsel bill the city for upwards of $10,000
I'd love
for a
to help.
2-cent opinion.
I'd love to help you out, but really it's inappropriate. You have to apply to the city administrator. And
I have.
He'll have to talk.
I have.
Deal with the city clerk.
I have.
And then eventually, if somebody on that side of the fence instructs me, and I'm not violating any ethical considerations because this is ongoing litigation, we could do that, but I can't
Okay.
just do that.
You're saying that the city clerk and the city administrator can indeed make that request to you. They're authorized under their powers of their office to proceed. Mr. Deeney, are you listening rather than reading? I need this thing processed ASAP, and, I want this determination. I don't think it's a big request. I think it's rather simple.
John, it's a matter of whether the process is correct. So if you have filed in the correct process, I will see to it that you get the letter. How's that?
I will sleep much better tonight. Thank you very much.
That's 2 things you're going to sleep better about tonight.
I'll sleep like a log. I might even miss the next commission meeting.
John, you can have the letter right now. Sleep well, John. Anyone else?
He did, he left.
Steve Altman, 9003 Amherst Avenue, Margate. The Down Beach Current reported a story that Mr. Deeney had made a suggestion for the commissioners to visit department heads, which I compliment Mr. Deeney on the suggestion and the proposal, and that these meetings would be open to the public if there were room for the public. I'd like to volunteer to go to those meetings if everybody would have me.
Rich, you want to respond to that?
Anytime three commissioners are together, we've advertised this as a meeting. It is not a meeting per se, but we need to advertise under the law for the meeting. Now, it's really a tour of our facilities and a chance to meet some of the key personnel. Technically speaking, if you want to tag along and find us, we'll be at the various locations starting at the days that were publicized. But in terms of action, there will be no action. They're really to orient the other commissioners that don't manage that particular department, to orient them to our facility, our current facilities, the status of our facilities, the condition of the facilities, and to meet the key personnel. So when we get to the budget time and we discuss it all here publicly, they're the ones that have to vote, not just the commissioners in charge of it. So I'm not sure really what you're asking, but they're all advertised in the paper, and we'll be at the police department one day, and the fire department another day, and we'll be at the planning department a third day. So whatever the days are that are advertised in the newspaper, that's where we'll be.
It was a very good story, and I thank the Current, so there's no difficulty in my attending.
As an observer.
Pardon me?
As an observer.
As an observer?
Yeah.
Understood. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anyone else?
Sharon Simon, 424 North Thurlow Avenue. I also want to thank Mr. Deeney, and I'm sure everybody had some input into the thought, or maybe not, but it's a great idea. I think it's good that everybody at the table know what's happening at the city, so that when there is a vote, that everybody has full information. Again, this meeting was very informative, and if you guys keep this up, I might not even have to come to meetings anymore.
We want you, Sharon.
I do have other things to do. I just want to clarify the response to Mr. Sewell. I think this whole thing of conflict of interest is a serious matter, and it's fine to joke about it, but we have in fact not had a committee for a long time, and it does leave people in the public not in a place where they can easily bring a complaint or talk to the person on the committee, which used to be what you could do to talk to them. So what I heard was that if Mr. Sewell writes to the city clerk and requests that there be a letter from the city, whether there is going to be or not going to be a ethics committee, that will happen. I don't know. I just don't think it's something that should be joked about. And there have been some concerns in the past, and there still are some concerns, and because we are a small community, and there are conflicts, whether people abuse those conflicts or don't. But I think it's in the best interest of the city to make a decision and to go one way or the other. And if they're going to have a committee, great. Have a committee, make it, and there should be the ability to have a process. And right now there isn't, and there hasn't been for a while. So I ask that the commission do take that under consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Is there a motion to close public comment?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
We will now have open public comment on resolutions only. Any comment on the resolutions on tonight's agenda? Is there a motion to close public
I'll
comment?
make that motion.
Second?
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
All yours, Joanna.
May I have a motion for resolution number
How
112
about
dash...
we have an ordinance, don't we? To be
Oh, I'm
introduced?
sorry. I missed it. I'd like to read the introduction of ordinance number 08-215, amending Chapter 50, entitled Salaries and Compensation, to include hourly positions of recreation aide and keyboard clerk.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Okay, now we have resolutions 112-215, authorizing the request of the Director of Division of Local Government to amend budget of 2015, revenue of $32,723.86.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Number 113-215, payment of bills and claims. May I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second?
Mayor Becker?
I'm sorry.
Bills. Bills, payment of bill, please.
Okay. Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Okay, resolution number 114-215 has been pulled from today's agenda. On to number 115-215, authorizing payment of bills for Colmar.
I'll make that motion.
May I have a second?
Second?
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Number 116-215, authorizing rejection of the authorizing rejection and re-advertising for municipal building generator.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Number 117-215, issuance of a duplicate tax sales certificate.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Okay, number 118, number 215, issuance of a duplicate tax sale certificate for Block 124, Lot 23-32.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mike was the second.
Ah, okay. Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Number 119-215, issuance of a duplicate tax sale certificate for Block 17, Lot 405.01,
I'll make
which I
that motion.
believe that should be corrected to Block 405.01, Lot 17.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Thank you. Is there any other business? Thank you, Joanna. Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Thank you all for being here.